still have one more second. Hey, what's up? What's good? Thank you for joining me on my. I don't know. Did I do a live this year? I don't know. This might be my first live stream of 2025. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to get in the back in the swing of um doing this whole YouTube thing. My name is Queen. Welcome to Mix Vixen. I am the creator, queen of this here establishment. Let me bring up my notes really quickly. I just want to make sure I don't forget anything that I wanted to talk about today. This live stream is all about what I plan to do to go forward with Mix Vixen. And I figured I'd make it a live stream for a couple of reasons. One, because I didn't want to edit anything, but I did want to talk to everyone on YouTube. Two, so it's kind of like a record for accountability purposes, right? And three, because I wanted to talk to you all. I wanted to have a more communal conversation with people in a live stream is the easiest way to do this. I really hate my eyebrows. Like this one I did like this is like 2016 eyebrow. She's looking a little suspicious. But whatever. We will live. We will live. But yeah, I'm gonna wait for people to come in. Hopefully more folks come in here. So we could chat. So we could get stuff going. For some reason I cannot remember my regular intro. For some odd reason. I have no idea. What do I say? Hey boo. My name is Queen. I don't know what I be saying when I start videos. If you're in here, please give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. It's a great affirmation for me. So please do that. Yo, this eyebrow's really bugging me out. Looks so suspicious. I look like a villain on this side of my face. I don't know what I was doing with that eyebrow pencil. Looks cray. How y'all doing? Talk to me in the chat if you want to talk. I would like to know who's here and where y'all from. I like to know who I'm talking to. But yeah, I want to get into some of my plans for the rest of the year. Mix Vixen, kind of like a mid-year reset. Not so much. Hey Nicole. Nicole was on my live last night. I do a live a lot. I do lives a lot on Patreon. Mostly on Patreon. I don't really do them too much on YouTube. I don't know how comfortable I feel with going on live. I don't know. I don't know. And then strangers could come. I don't like that. It's just weird for me to just be talking to strangers online. Thank you. I'm not sure if this brand still exists, but it's pretty dope. And they make hats that are big enough to fit big hair. Like you could make them smaller or bigger. Like there's a drawstring inside to do that with. What are they called? Nappy headed. I don't know. But Black woman brand. I bought it at like a street fair in Brooklyn, although I have been following them on Instagram for a long time. But I'm not sure if they still exist or not. I don't know, child. Okay, I'm just going to get started and maybe people will join me. We shall see what happens with that. I usually have more people in my life. Hold on. Actually, hold on one second. I want to see something. Do do do. That's interesting. Well, whatever. Okay. So, I have plans. I have things that I want to do with this platform. And I figured that I'll talk to you all about it for a couple of reasons. Like I said, for accountability purposes, just so that I can have a living record of this here somewhere, because that's helpful for me. I like to reference things back. I do like to kind of have time capsules of moments. So this would be one of those. Um, and because I haven't really said anything to the people who, excuse me, to the people who engage my stuff on YouTube, I don't really talk to y'all. I don't really use that community post tab as much as I should. Let me take this off the screen. Yeah, I don't use that as much as I should. I'm trying to be better with that, but I don't even really post on regular social media in that way, right? At all. I'm more of a stories kind of girl. I'm a stories. Instagram stories all up in there. But to post on a thing is just not my thing. I'm trying to get better at that so that I'm talking to you all more, so that I'm engaging with you more. But this is the easiest way for me to do it. So that's why I'm doing on the video. And then hopefully some of you all will catch this on the replay and believe stuff in the comments. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I did want this to kind of live somewhere for myself and for you all to kind of see an engagement and see, what's going on. So we're gonna do that, talk about some mixed vixen things. And then depending on how many people are in this chat, then we could just talk shit about shit. Y'all can ask me about certain stuff I guess happening right now in the world or in pop culture, and I'll talk my shit about it. We'll see where that goes. But that depends on how interactive the chat becomes throughout this conversation. So I figure I start with, at the very least, talking about I'll get to your comment in a second, Nicole, all right? Um have Okay, I figure I'll talk about what Miss Vixen is, what it's supposed to be, this and this and that. I am a person who has always been a magazine junkie. I know that print magazines aren't a huge thing anymore, but as a child, that was my shit. As a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, that was my shit. So I wanted to create that magazine like space. And that's what this is. And what it was supposed to be was storytelling. And I think I just kind of fell into the trap of trying to figure out a way to be popular. Not me, but for the platform to be popular. And it lost track of being a place of storytelling. So I initially started out as a writer. Miss Vixen was a blog where I wrote, and then I started writing for other smaller publications, which was cool. But Miss Vixen wasn't becoming the thing I wanted it to be. So then I tried podcasting, which I was really successful in. Mix Vixen, not, but just in general as a podcaster, which was very successful in, which is great, but not as much storytelling as I would like it to be. There was lots of talking, commentary, um, theorizing, and stuff like that, which is great. But I maybe I was storytelling, but it probably wasn't in the way I want to do storytelling. So then I moved to YouTube, and I start out with storytelling, but then I started to notice that a lot of my videos became like reaction to things. So someone would do something in pop culture, someone would do something in the world, and then I would create content to react to that, which to me is what I don't want to do. I want to tell stories that center Black femmes. I want to raise awareness through storytelling. That's the goal. And that's what I wasn't doing anymore, because I I don't know. I guess I was just falling in line with what people generally responded to. I would get the most, my videos where I was responding to some bullshit got the most views. Or even if, even when it comes to like things that, like when Twitter was popular, I had a pretty cool following on Twitter. Me reacting to something, or yeah, being reactionary to something is what got all of the views, and that is just not good for my mental health. I Yeah, it's just not. It's not what I want to do because I realize how detrimental it is to my mental health. It also makes you have to always chase a story, which I don't want to do. I won't want to chase the stories. I want to create the stories. And creating content the way that I was is just not conducive for me. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy for me. Um and because my natural setting as a person is to, and I think this is most humans, is that we're really good at pointing out negative things, reacting to negative things. And I still will do that, because when it comes to me dismantling these horrible systems, I have to expose them. So there are going to be ways in which I'm talking about the negative, but I just want to be better with telling stories that center Black femmes rather than yelling at systems. And that's what I felt like I was doing. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to do that. At least not on this space. At least not on this Vixen. So with this channel going forward, you'll see two different types of videos. So you've already seen, so far I've released on here two videos for a series that I called Pop Culture Pop Decoded. Wait, what do I call it? I want to make sure I get this stuff correct. I'm do, 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 do. I don't know if I call it Pop Decoded or Pop Culture. I just want to make sure I name it right, because yeah, Pop Culture Decoded. So that's a series where those videos will generally be short, no more than 10 or 15 minutes, where I am decoding pop culture, but the decoding is me talking about all of the white supremacist, patriarchal, classist, imperialist systems and how it bleeds into our everyday pop culture. And the reason why I like doing that is because it makes it makes all of this theory, it makes all of this jargon, and makes all of these things that I find fun to just look into. Like, I'm a person who's naturally into reading these books and examining these theories. That's fun for me. That's not fun for everyone. So the way that I think I can make it fun for more people is to do it through the lens of pop culture. So that's what those essays would be, and they would be not too long. Then my other video essays, which will be longer and a little more researched, a little more in depth. Um, those will be the standard video essays. Um, but what I want to make sure that I do is that in all of them, while I tear something apart, so I tear apart a system that I think is whack. Let's say I'm tearing apart, I don't know, a video of a video I'm working on now is tackling the idea of entrepreneurship amongst Black people also being something that's still very individualistic. How it isn't an amazing thing for community. I know that, and I've been a part of it too. Push, work for yourself, work for yourself, work for yourself. But there is some detriment to that. So I'm gonna go out and do a video tearing all of that shit up. But towards the end, I am gonna talk about what we can do. I just want to make sure I always come back with something that we could do rather than just screaming into the void and yelling at the system. So those are the other videos that I will do. So those are the types of videos you'll see on this channel. There will be that, and that's it. Um, I'm gonna get to your question right now, Nicole. I don't know what this is. SATC. What is this acronym? Oh, I'm horrible with acronyms. Sex and is this Sex in the City? I think. I think that's Sex in the City. What the heck? Hold on. I'll be right back. I think my cat is trapped somewhere. Let me go save. How did you get in there? 1 second, y'all. My bad. Thanks. Cats is crazy. Oh yeah, Sex and the City. Yeah, I've seen Sex and the City. Sex and the City was actually that was on TV when I was in high school. I didn't watch it when it was on TV because I would have HBO on and off. My parents, when it came to cable, they would in the summers they cut it off because we were supposed to be outside. They wasn't paying the extra bill, and also there was like a lot of sex and stuff in that show, and I couldn't watch stuff like that. So if I watched stuff like that, I had to sneak it. So it was like I wasn't even going to try to do that, and I didn't have my parents didn't allow TVs in our bedroom, so I watched it in college on my own. And then watched it lots of times after that or whatever. So yes, I did watch Sex and the City. I do not watch And Just Like That. I watched the first 2 seasons of And Just Like That. I tried to watch season 3. Garbage. I just can't. I can't do it at all. So I'm gonna get back to my outline. Oh, excuse me. If there's other stuff that y'all want us to talk shit about, just put it in the chat so I could do that after I just explain or like how Mixed Vixen is moving forward. But I do want to like converse with y'all and talk to y'all. That's why it's called a community conversation, because I want us to talk to each other. So that's what the channel will be going forward. Pop culture decoded, and then my general kind of video essays, and all of those videos essays I'm gonna fuck up a system and show how it does not work for Black people, and then start a conversation to create how we can make these things work for us. So what is the alternative? What is the thing we should be doing? So that's what this channel is going to be. I actually have another bigger project that I want to do. I just need funding for it. That is my dream project. I'm not going to really say what that is because I don't even know if I can make it come into fruition yet. So that thing will probably live on this channel too, but it's all about if I get the funding for it, if I get enough patrons, stuff like that, because I would like to really do my due diligence for that project and also pay an editor to do that, because I am not I don't like editing. I do not like editing, but I also am not comfortable enough with doing lives. That's just where I'm at with it. So I have to figure it out. Yes. Thanks so much, Julian. Yeah, I was actually surprised it did so well because I don't really post on YouTube. I haven't really been doing lots on YouTube. And my video before that didn't do well at all. The one about Diddy, which I said I thought he was going to go free. I said that in that essay that no one watched. That YouTube hit in the algorithm. Yeah, so thank you, Julian. I really, really appreciate that. So that's what's going to go on this channel. Other places where I would like for you to engage with my work is because I'm trying to also not be so dependent on these algorithms. They're racist. They are classist. They are like the all of the systems that we hate that happens from human to human interactions, these algorithms are doing to us. And I want to create the way I want to create, and I do not want to be a slave to this algorithm chasing the story. I don't want to do that. It does not feel good, and it makes me not want to do this at all. And because of that, it's like I should just have an honest conversation with the audience. And in order for the audience just looks at you. A community engages you. A community also talks to each other. Like what's going on in this chat right now, that is community. Folks who are just looking at me, that is an audience. I appreciate an audience. I value a community. I prefer a community. And that it's really difficult to get the community you want in this way if you have to depend on a fucking algorithm. I don't want to do that. So other ways that you can engage my stuff is by joining my newsletter, which I have linked in videos. I don't know if I put it in this description box, but I will. So join my newsletter. My newsletter, I don't send out a whole lot. I would say I'm trying to make it monthly ish, but right now it's quarterly, like as in quarters of the year, right? But it is a way for you to just get my stuff directly to you, and it's not an algorithm that determines if you watch a video, if whatever. Um, Sorry, someone just texted me. Let me put this on DNZ. So yes, my newsletter, which I'll put in I don't think I put it in the description box, but I will. And also my Patreon. With Patreon, you can have free members now. So I do release stuff for free on Patreon as well. So please join my Patreon. That's another way where algorithm doesn't dictate whether or not you get to see what I create. These algorithms are killing creation. And it is up to us to figure out how to not let that happen and to also support each other so that does not happen. Okay, these algorithms dictate what we see, what we engage, and what becomes the mainstream. We have to make sure we do what we can to not allow that. So, this is my call to action to my audience and my community for that to not be the case, because that shit is whack. That's whack. So join my Patreon. You can join as a free member. I do release writing on there now. My writings on there are free for the public, actually. So I've released 3 essays so far. I'm working on something right now. I'm writing something right now about Lizzo. So join my Patreon as a free member, just so that it's another way for you to be a part of what I create without an algorithm telling you or sending you what I create. I'm going to start when I release videos, also putting them on Patreon for free, but just so that you know that the video has happened because you got a Patreon email versus maybe you seen if YouTube says I have a video or not. Just I don't want to be 100% dependent on that in that way. And the way that I counter that is by cultivating a community that gets to me in other ways. Notice how I haven't promoted social media, because that's another one. I don't want to depend on social media to get people to get to me. So that's why I didn't even mention that. Patreon, newsletter. Those are things that are mine. Those are things that I own. Those are things that algorithm, like YouTube could change how they do stuff tomorrow. And now it's hundreds or thousands of people who think I don't exist anymore because they don't get what I create. And I don't like the idea of that. I actually hate the idea of that. And instead of just complaining about it and not doing what I want to do, which is this, like I said, I want to instill within us for everyone. Because even in this chat, there are creators in this chat. Julian is a creator. I advise you to like kind of figure out this stuff too. Where did you go? Empress was on here. I think they maybe yeah, I see you. Empress of Ease. All these are other creators that I know and I work with, and sometimes I don't even see that your videos have come out because this weird YouTube is weird. So like we have to think of ways to support each other as a community, as creative, and think outside of what this box of what this system has created and how we engage with each other. So that's one thing. The other thing that I am changing for myself and my well-being is because I like mess. I do like talking about people. If you know me personally, you know how I'm not a huge gossip, but I like to listen to people's business. And yeah, I do. I like to do that. And a lot of that I don't want to do in public spaces anymore. So, you know how something happens and everyone is talking about it on TikTok because everyone's a yapper. We're tweeting about it. With this, I don't want to, or threading about it. I don't want to do that anymore in a public space because I also feel like I'm feeding the trolls. This thought came to my mind when Just Hilarious, the time when I just want to put this on the screen because you're so right. Thank you, Julian. I really appreciate that. You do always share my stuff. I'm gonna be better at doing that back because you're absolutely right. I appreciate that. I'm just so bad at using my community tab, period. But I've already challenged myself to be better at that. But I just wanted to publicly say thank you so much, Julian, because you do always share my shit. So, what was I talking about? Yes, yes. I do still want to do that a little bit. I still like to engage in mess. But the reason why I'm changing how I go about that on a platform or a public space is because, yes, Just Hilarious. Remember when she was on a Breakfast Club and she just had to be transphobic out of nowhere because I don't know. I guess any time is the right time to be transphobic to her. And that whole situation just felt gross to me for a couple of reasons. I guess there was a function for that because according to the interview that Just Hilarious just did with Carlos King, which we did a watch party on Patreon yesterday. Y'all missed it because you're not Patreons. But it did make it so that Jess lost she lost the deal or something like that. That transfer that. So I guess there was some function in that. But when it was happening, that felt really gross to me because we already know that Jess is transphobic and she's not going to change that. She's not. She's okay. She's actually not even she's okay. She feels is right. She is right. That's not going to change. Not in one sitting. Not in one instance of a huge backlash. Honestly, all that is going to make them do is think that, you know, they're right and or never say stuff like that publicly again. But that's not how you educate people. So that situation made me uncomfortable. It made me more uncomfortable because I feel that there are a lot of people who are like the woke shade room. I released a clip about this, but folks who are in the social media, they operate like the shade room, but they use woke shit but on the shade room. So I felt that clip being released was just pointless because It was already addressed. One, it happened on a shade room. The other woman, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. She addressed it already. She corrected Jess already. So that clip to me just opened the door for more transphobia, for more trans women to be, for trans black women specifically to be harmed. Again, we already know that that girl is transphobic. And to add on it, for Jess to feel supported. Because that happened, other transphobic people came out in support of Jess Hilarious. The sensationalization of transphobia is never going to be how we educate people to not be transphobic. And yeah, that situation just made me feel really gross. And it made me understand how these cycles of rage that we engage in on social media is something I don't want to be a part of anymore. But I do understand why the conversations are important and why understanding the folks who are on the wrong side of history is important, because it helps me. You have to understand the enemy to defeat it. So I understand the utility in that. I just don't understand being on threads and tweeting about it all day. I just don't get that. So those kinds of conversations I will have only on Patreon. And right now, I have been doing live streams on Patreon. I'm trying to do them bi-weekly. And those streams become podcast episodes for a Patreon only podcast called Community Conversations with Queen. Community Convos with Queen. Because I think those conversations are important to have with your community, with people you're in community with, not for the public square, because it just becomes a ridiculous sensationalized story, and it's just not, it's not safe. It's not. I've been on social media enough to know. I've been on social media for a long time, and I know how to do social media well. And it's after a while we become an echo chamber that's like screaming into a void. So those kind of conversations I do think are valuable in a certain way. So I have those on Patreon now, and on my Patreon only podcast called Community Convos with Queen. So yes, so that's something else to know about. That is new. Miss Vixen now has a podcast, but the podcast is Patreon only. I also have a new YouTube channel, and that channel is called Community Convos with Queen. I think I linked it in the description box, so please follow that YouTube channel. That channel is for clips of the, clips and stuff from the Patreon podcast. 5-minute, 6-minute clips, but also that will be where I do live streams. I don't know how often I'll do a live stream. I'll be totally honest, but I want live stream and kind of topical conversations, reacting to what's happening in the world and or pop culture to be on that channel. So, but I also want those conversations to be communal. So that's why it'll be a live stream so that I can see what you guys are saying in the chat. Not you guys, I'm trying to use less gendered language. What you all are saying in the chat. I'll promote the Patreon only podcast on that channel. But that's what that would be for. So Mix Vixen channel will be completely just for video essays, short and long, storytelling kind of essays. Yes. So I have 2 channels now. So please follow both of my channels. They're both are under the Miss Vixen brand, but just understand them as having, one is storytelling and one is kind of just like talking shit, podcasting, talking about womanist theory through just day to day, not the video essay format, more of like talking head kind of thing on that channel. So yeah, those are the new things that are happening with Ms. Vixen. Those are the changes I'm making. I hope that you join, you follow, subscribe, whatever you do on YouTube to both of those channels. I would appreciate that. And I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I've always been a writer. I started this whole thing as a writer. It's just that not a lot of people read, right? But I still want to write. So, like I said, on Patreon is where I release essays. Essays are for the public. Those are not behind a paywall, but it'll be way easier for you to have access to them if you become a free member on Patreon, so you could get my essays. So there'll be written work on my Patreon, videos, essays on the Mixed Vixen channel, and then we have also the Patreon only podcasts. So if you want to know what I'm thinking about Diddy or whatever, that's where that stuff will exist. Some of those clips will be on a community conversations YouTube channel, which is a separate channel, and that also will be the channel where if I decide to do lives, they will be on that channel. So that's what all of this is going to look like. Feels good to me, works out for me. I like to compartmentalize things. That was another thing that drove me crazy about my channel, is that it seemed kind of all over the place. I like things to have its spot. I'm a Virgo. I need you to go where you're supposed to go. And it just feels better that I have different places for the different kinds of Miss Vixen content to live. So yeah, so that's what it is. That's what it's gonna be. I wanted to talk about it and explain it. Um, but yeah, so I finished explaining all the Miss Vixen stuff, the whys, the changes. Um, so yes, if y'all want to, we could talk some shit. If there's certain things happening right now in pop culture or the world or whatever that you might want to know my thoughts on, put them in the chat and let's get to it. If y'all don't put anything in the chat, I'm gonna go because it's nice outside. I do too. I don't follow it. I don't understand why people follow it. I When the shade room first came out, I followed it briefly, maybe for like a day, because my homegirl and like I like mess. I watch trash reality TV, so I'm not above any of the shit. I like the shits, right? But I stopped following it because, especially back in those days, you did not post on Instagram. I don't even think Instagram is like that now, but you didn't. They posted too much for me, and I don't like a whole lot of anything, so I unfollowed them. So I only probably followed them for like a day or two, and I unfollowed them. Right now, I have the shame room blocked. I have them blocked for a couple of reasons. I don't even want people sending me stuff. So people still send me stuff from the shade room, but I can't even see it. You know how someone sends DMs or some shit? I can't even see it because I have them blocked. So I want to make sure that they get no views, nothing from me. I also have them blocked so they don't have access to me. So if I don't know, if I release something, I, I don't want them to have access to my shit either. I'm sure there are ways that they can, but for me, it just makes me feel like I have a little bit of control by having them blocked everywhere. But I do not like the shade room. I wish that was not a place that people relied on for information. They are Trump supporters. They are not conducive to the liberation of anybody, not even their damn selves. They are hyper capitalists. It's just a whole mess over there. And like I said, I love to gossip. I like talking about people. I like it. Your hair, we in the room together, and your hair look funny. Guaranteed, I'll probably text my friend and say, "Well, my hair look funny." That's the type of person I am. I gotta be real about who I am. But I hate the shade room. Even with me being the way like that, I can't stand the shade room. It's horrible. Um, I don't know. I don't. You're not saying anything in the chat. I might just say goodbye. I'll give it 5 more minutes. Not even 5 more minutes. I'll give it 1 more minute. Mhm. Oh, I did pretty good. I only wanted to be on here for an hour. I've been for like 45 minutes. Oh, any thoughts on Nicki Minaj? Whoa, Nicki. I have lots of thoughts on Nicki Minaj. And yeah, I have lots of thoughts on Nicki Minaj. I've never really deep dive on, not deep dive. I've never really publicly talked about Nicki Minaj because I haven't wanted the reason for me to finally um I guess go viral in a huge way to be because the Barbs are being ridiculous people. I don't want to people to finally know Mix Vixen because of some Nicki Minaj shit. So I've never like done a video about her, wrote about her, anything like that. So that's one reason. Another reason I haven't is because I honestly don't care for her, and I don't really like to. I don't when I don't like something or don't care for something, I don't talk about it. Like it doesn't exist. That's like my natural disposition. If I don't fuck with somebody, I don't okay. um, so that's probably why I've never said anything. So my thoughts, few thoughts. Everyone likes to not even again. I'm doing my bullet point in my head. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the misogyny. Nicki Minaj is deeply misogynistic. Her internalized misogyny is like eating her alive, and it's really sad to see because she's talented or was talented because she means a lot to hip hop. She does, and for me, it's not even a matter of ruining her legacy. I think that it is Black women are allowed to be a mess. Black women are allowed. I said be a mess. I'm not talking about her misogyny or her other foul shit. I'm saying she's allowed to fall apart. Um, she's allowed to do that, and I think her legacy should be able to still exist, even though she's falling apart. Because fucking Diddy is allowed to have a fucking legacy. R. Kelly's allowed to have a fucking legacy. Weinstein, Elon, all of these horrible people who have actually done physical and mental harm, crimes. Niggas have done crimes and still have a legacy. So I do think she is still allowed to have a legacy. She can have and be a mess, fall apart as a Black woman. I'm okay with that. The other things with her is that she obviously needs some healing. I don't know how she needs to go about that. I do think that she is having a mental break. People keep saying she's having a coke binge. I'm gonna be honest. I've done drugs, right? And also I actually currently work for a harm reduction organization. So I'm not against drugs. I think that if things are regulated, I'm not an anti drug person. I'm not, that joke y'all have going around about being scared of coke? That's not me. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Sniff your coke. I don't care. But she's not on a coke binge. she's not. She's not. As a person who has partaken and as a person who has been around people and still be around people who do coke, that is not a coke binge. A lot of y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That woman is having some kind of psychotic break and she needs help. She needs help. I don't know how to go about that help. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a medical professional, so I don't know what she needs. But that's That's not drugs. That's not drugs. I wish we had more education about drugs so motherfuckers can know that that's not drugs. Other things about Nicki Minaj. Hmm. I think that's all I have. She needs help. She needs medical attention. She's acting just like Kanye is acting. They need medical attention. It's not drugs. It's not all them niggas be wildin'. It's not just that she's misogynistic. That woman is having a psychotic break. We're watching someone have a psychotic break. And we're making it funny. It's weird. Now, I'm not saying she's never used drugs. I'm not saying that. I just don't think that what is happening is because of coke. That doesn't even make sense from what I know about drugs. Um, she also has admitted. This is alleged because this is vague. Like I don't know a whole lot about Nicki Minaj. She has talked about, not talked about. See, I'm talking shit. I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard that she has addiction to pills, which definitely might be a drug she used. I don't think she's not a drug user. I think she is a drug user. I just don't think that what is happening is because of drugs. I think what is happening is that this person is having a psychotic fucking break and they are deeply misogynistic. This person needs healing. This person needs help. What I think is happening, and I get it, is that we see that there's a person who has the access to help because of money and they're not doing it and they're fucking tweeting their life away. That's the ridiculous part about it. You have the access to the help and you're not using it. That's the part where I judge. I judge that. You have access to help. I have had I've had family members who are schizophrenic, who have had psychotic breaks, and we have not had the access that Nicki Minaj has. So it makes me upset. And granted, I'm not saying she's schizophrenic. I'm saying I have experienced folks who have schizophrenia and have had psychotic breaks. And because of this eyebrow is really driving me crazy. Why did I draw it so high? Okay, whatever. Let me get back to this. But because we were poor when I was younger, my brother who had schizophrenia has passed. He passed when I was 17. And when I was 17, we were poor. Right now, I would say my family has, I guess, we're not poor anymore because a lot of us went to college and stuff like that. So we are comfortable. New York comfortable. Not even because I'm the only one who still lives in New York City because everyone has been priced out. Everyone is still in the tri-state area, but I'm the only one in my immediate family. Me and one of my cousins are the only one who still live in New York City because we've been priced out. People are in Jersey and in like Philly and stuff now. But that I wish we had kind of the financial security that our family has now when my brother was younger. So to see someone who has access to help not use it and sit online and bully people, and it's that's the part where I judge. That's the part where I'm like, I don't care. That's what makes me say that. But it doesn't make me feel good to see this person have a psychotic break because of whatever reasons. That part is not funny to me. That part is not fun. That part is not. Yeah, for me, that's not what that is. Thanks, Julian. Thank you. But yeah, so that's how I feel about all of that Nicki Minaj stuff. You know, She needs help. She needs medical attention. She needs to be admitted somewhere. There's a lot that she needs to sort through um mentally, also emotionally. Um and she's not seeking that help. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. I think that if she was, I don't know if a lot of y'all are young enough to remember, but remember when Britney Spears was going through her thing? Like I do think that there is a lack of mental health support when it comes to that industry. I don't think it's encouraged enough. I don't think, yeah, it's just interesting that because of the money, how they are allowed to kind of just exist that way, and we dismiss it as like drugs. I think we use drug use as a way to dismiss the impact of the behavior. And it would be helpful if we learned to not do that. Yeah, this too. This as well. And then like there's stuff about Nicki Minaj that to me that is interesting. So like there's stuff about her that just doesn't add up to me. Like she is a performer. She's a performer. Like I think she would be an amazing actor. Like, but there's stuff about her that doesn't make sense, and I think she does have, in some instances, an inflated idea of herself. And I think because, let me rewind that. I generally don't trust anybody who was okay with being the only one, and she was okay with being the only woman in the hip hop space for a really long time. So I generally don't trust people like that. I don't trust you if you're okay with being the only black person in the room, if you're okay with being the only queer person in the room, if you're okay with being the only light skinned person, no, yeah, whatever. I don't know. If you're in a room of white people and you're the like, I don't like the only ones. Those people, I do not trust them. I feel like those people are detriments to my liberation because that should not be okay. Um I think that a lot of that is how she was able to get her success, but to be the only one is detrimental. Like when you think about those black children who like go to all white schools, or all of the fucking harm that people took. I didn't go to PWI, but all of the harm that people talk about because they went to a PWI, that being the only one, shit, it does something to you. So I think like experiencing a decade plus of that, and whatever other stuff that you have to see and endure, like we're seeing how much harm, alleged harm, Diddy has caused for decades. It makes me wonder what Nicki has seen. It makes me wonder what Nicki has condoned and may feel guilty about. It makes me wonder who she is now as a person based on all of that harm. You know, it's just so many things. So many things. So those are the things I think about. It's easy for me to think about those things because I don't know her. I'm not being harmed directly by her. I'm not SZA. I'm not um Megan Thee Stallion. Like I'm not these people, so it's easy for me to just be like, I wonder what's going on here. I also don't hear a lot of people talking about Nicki Minaj in this way, so that's why I just figure I do say these things because they are important to exist somewhere. But she needs help. She is in deep pain. She's in deep hurt. She's in deep alleged psychosis. I don't know. I'm not a medical professional at all. I'm not a therapist, nothing. I'm just throwing words out here that make sense to me. But she's unwell. And I hope she gets the help that she needs. Okay, so we've been on for an hour. I only really wanted to do an hour of this. of updating you all on what's going on in Mixed Vixen. Make sure that you subscribe to the other YouTube channel, Community Convos with Queen. That's where all of the live streams will go. That's where all of the clips from podcast episodes will go. So if you are not financially able to become a patron member to listen to that podcast, clips of it will be there. Not huge clips, but like some poignant parts will be there. So you can engage those there. I already have 2 of them there. And then also that's where live streams and things like that will go. That would be the page where yeah, that's where that will go. And you see a video of mine, like it. If you're watching this, like it. That's really affirming for me to know that you like this as well. So I'm gonna call it a night. Remember, you are a bad bitch. You are enough, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining my live. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are real ones.